Hi, I'd like to talk today about the full moon eclipse in Virgo, which did happen a couple of days ago. I'm a little bit late with getting onto it. What I really want to address with this particular video is the portal that we are now in, that is between the full moon in Pisces, which we have just had, and being an eclipse, a lunar eclipse, and then we have the new moon in Virgo in a couple of weeks' time, which will be a solar eclipse. So this is a powerful time that we have the opportunity to take a moment to really notice what it is that is coming up for us, what needs to change. So somewhere in your life, you will have some sort of pretty much glaringly obvious to yourself, within yourself, that something is no longer fitting. Something just doesn't feel right anymore, and you need to be able to be honest with yourself and be brave to be able to make the changes, the necessary changes to be able to keep going, to go into a new direction, to be able to let go of whatever that is and to be able to move in some sort of different direction. So what we will see, what this will feel like for us, is that there will be frustration, there may be some anxiety, that it's not going to feel great in most ways. Sometimes there might be that little bit of tinsy little frisson of excitement when you think about how things potentially can be, but there's a lot to go through, or there's a lot to move within ourselves to be able to get to that point. So this is what this portal is for, and it's not something that's going to happen in 2 weeks. Okay, so when you hear people speak about the eclipse portal, that's not speaking about the, like, on this day you're going to let this go and then on this day the change is going to be made. It doesn't work like that. It's more of an opportunity. This is the time that you will really notice what needs to change, so that you can be aware of that. There will be triggers that come up that highlight what needs to change. So if you're not making those, if you're not making the recognition or the knowledge, acknowledgement within yourself of what needs to change, there will be triggers, there'll be circumstances, there'll be things that come up that will sort of jolt you or push you into making that recognition, which might be a bit painful. So I guess sorry, I've got my incense going here and I'm not sure if you can see that. So what will be happening, this will all unfold over the next 6 months. Okay, so basically between now and the next eclipses, which will be April, I believe, March or April next year, then that's how we will see this unfold. Okay, so things will look very different for the majority of us, for most of us by April next year. Okay, so the actual chart, we've got the full moon is in Pisces, and then opposite that is where the sun is in Virgo. Okay, so the sun is actually conjunct Mercury and also conjunct the south node, which is how you know that it's an eclipse, because the sun will be conjunct the nodes. Okay, this positioning here, Mercury is actually the ruler of Virgo. Okay, so it's very much at home here. What the Virgo influence and the south node influence, so the south node is what has been done. It's what already has been, and this is what will be helping you highlight what needs to be let go of. Okay, so Virgo is very much about discernment, being able to recognize patterns, to be able to be looking at habits. It's our day-to-day life and our, what we do on top, just on top of this, and then I do this, and then I do this. Okay, so sometimes that can become a little bit routine, and we need to be able to step back from the just constant, this is what I do, and question ourselves as to whether what we're doing is actually still serving us. Because the constant doing and the constant striving without reflection is potentially not going, this incense is distracting me, is potentially not going to be able to help us moving forward. Okay, the world around us is changing and we're changing, and so we need to be able to keep moving and look at what may be holding us back. What stories are we telling us that may be holding ourselves back? What expectations, what perfectionism tendencies do we have that is not serving us anymore? It's not, what protection, what are we doing to try and protect ourselves? What have we picked up from childhood to try and protect ourselves that is not something that is actually serving us as emotionally mature adults? Okay, this is a time for us to be able to become radically self-responsible, to be able to look at what part we've played in the circumstances of our life and what we have in our life, whether that's good or bad, and be able to sort of go, well, my choices have got me here, and my choices are now going to be able to move me in a new direction. Okay, but by acknowledging that, by being responsible and not sort of blaming the outside circumstances, then that helps give us, it brings the power back to us. Okay, it helps us be powerful in our own life, be the leader of our own life, rather than just sort of being pushed around and felt that we have no choice, or feeling like a victim. So that axis basically between Pisces and Virgo. So Pisces is the doing and like I said, the habits, whereas Virgo is the doing and the habits and the patterns, whereas Pisces is the letting go, the surrendering, the trusting. And that's where we need to move towards now. Okay, so that's where the North Node is. The North Node is there in Pisces, and we also have Saturn has just moved back into Pisces as well in retrograde for its final, it's like a final lesson. Okay, so, and that's also where the full moon is as well. So between the full moon and Pisces and Saturn sitting there, what that is asking us is to be able to recognize what structures do we have in place, or what structures do we need to put in place to be able to make this this new direction doable. So we need to be able to surrender the old structures that we've had in place, and the old ways of thinking, the old patterns that we have, and be able to put in new ways, like to be able to be responsible. Okay, so that's Saturn, is like I was mentioning, the responsibility, that's Saturn. We're wanting to be able to be responsible. And when it moves back into Aries, which will be sort of the start of next year, towards the start of next year, we've had a taste of that just recently, where you probably have felt that, where you've been a bit like, oh, okay, I can see how things can be. I've got an idea of how things can be. I could do this like this. That is us being able to be self-responsible. That is us going, oh yeah, I can do this, And so with Saturn back in Pisces now, it's just giving the last moment to be able to release. This is our opportunity to release what isn't going to be able to help us going forward. Okay, what will hinder us? What is actually going to make us what beliefs and what emotional immaturity are we still holding on to that need to be released so that we can fully step into the self-responsible, emotionally mature being, and move on to this new direction that is just dying to come forward. Okay, so so what else did I want to say? So yeah, so when we're looking at the beliefs that we've had and the patterns, and really discerning what it is that we think, what we need to do is ask ourselves, is what you think actually true? Like, you might think, oh, I'm no good at going on social media, is that actually true? Can you actually do that? Like, it's you got to sit there and look objectively at these beliefs and stories that you're telling yourself. No one likes me. Really? Is that true? Is it really true? That's what you need to be able to do. Okay, these are the stories and the patterns that are holding you back. They're holding you back, so you need to be able to release them. You need to be able to integrate the what they were and the reasoning behind that. Integrate it without judgment, because that's the other thing. Virgo can get very judgy. No need to judge it. It is what it is. But if it's not serving you anymore, if it's not helpful, then just let it go with love. Okay? The other thing that is going on, the other little story which plays into this, is we've got Chiron, Jupiter, and Mars all in a T-square. Okay, so Chiron is opposite Mars. Chiron in Aries is opposite Mars in Libra, and they're both squaring Jupiter in Cancer. Okay, so this is T-squares are like a tension. They're a tension aspect, but this will be a good tension, because what this is going to do is be able to bring up enough pain, which isn't perhaps nice, but like enough pain to help a breakthrough happen. Okay, so the Chiron in Aries will be basically your there'll be wounds coming up that reflect around your feeling of loss, that has been loss around your own identity, your loss of self. So you have probably in some way felt that you don't recognize yourself anymore, or you're not the identity that you've had to be is not who you want to be going forward, or you don't see that as, it's like it doesn't fit anymore. So that you're going to, it'll be like the silence of how your real self is not being heard. So that's going to come up and start being quite painful. Jupiter in Cancer squaring that will show where the emotional blocks around this is. Okay, so what beliefs and feelings have been shaped probably from childhood, from traumas and experiences from childhood that have just come from fear, that they're actually just a fear-based, very immature way of dealing with things, which we've done as a protection to ourselves. So these will come up as well to be able to be released. So you'll start seeing this. And then with Mars in Libra, this is where the rebalancing is aiming to occur. So Mars will give the Mars will give the push and the impetus for us to want to change, to balance things out, to be able to want to act differently, particularly when it comes to relating with other people. Okay, so within our relationships, our patterns, our way of being will also be harming our relationships if they're unhealthy. Okay, so this is the opportunity to be able to release those patterns and to be able to balance our relationships out so that you're not coming at the other person with expectations of, well, any expectations. You're coming to them in a way of relating with your own self-responsibility. Okay, so issues such as codependencies and any sort of resentments and bits and pieces like that will come to the fore to be able to be let go and healed, and to be able to move your relationships into a new way of being. It's not necessarily that the relationships have to be let go of, although for some it may be that that's what ends up happening, but it's more so a matter of moving into a new way of relating with each other. Okay, so that's going to be some of the magic that we are going to be seeing from this particular eclipse. It's really such a pivotal moment. The amount of change that we're going to be seeing within ourselves and within the world is going to be phenomenal, and I'm here for it. I think it's fantastic. So yeah, some of the other questions that will be great for you to reflect on, like perhaps for you to be able to journal with throughout this period, this 2-week period, maybe things around what are you done with? What have you had enough of? What continues to happen? What keeps looping that is just not working for you anymore? What do you want to what needs to be let go of? What feels exhausting? So there'll be something that just feels exhausting for you now, that you don't get any benefit from, except it just makes you feel exhausted. That's the clue. That's what needs to be let go of. What patterns and messages have you been holding on to? What within the back of your mind that you constantly say to yourself that aren't serving you anymore, that don't help you? What are they that need to be recognized and let go of? Yeah, so, and what is ready to change? What's exciting you? What new opportunity, new direction, new personality, new relationship, new place, new job, new business? What's percolating? What is it that you want to move in? What direction do you want to move into? Let yourself feel into that. You will get there, but you do need to let go of this other stuff first. Okay, so this is the opportunity to be able to let go of the old stuff, to put it down with love, and just, don't be judging. Don't be like, oh, I'm so useless, look what I've done, I've wasted so much time. Everything's perfectly timed. Okay, you're exactly where you need to be, but this is the time to let go of the things that are holding you back and to get excited about what is coming next, because 2026 and beyond is going to be amazing. Our lives are going to be forever changed. Okay, so get ready to change with it. So yeah, I hope everyone is feeling okay. There can be a bit of a hangover in the preceding days after the eclipse, feeling a bit exhausted, but that's normal. Just sort of take it easy, journal, and if you need any support, please feel free to reach out for me for readings if you're looking for readings. If you can like and subscribe, that does help my channel. I do appreciate that. And yes, if there's any sort of help that I can do, or if you can share this with anyone else who may be interested, that'd be greatly appreciated as well. So till next time, take care.